What's up, CFB Nation? As you know, the winter freezes make everything fall. The leaves fall to the ground. But the spring showers make the grass forever green. And guess what? The grass is damn green in Eugene. CFB Nation, I am SC Romero, and this is the O.
All right, everybody got goals and aspirations. You know how you get those? You be the best where you're at.
What does Evan Stewart bring to the table here? In short, you get a baller.
The grass is not always green. In fact, the grass is damn green in Eugene.
Whew. What does Evan Stewart bring to the table? In short, you get a baller. You are right. What's up, CFB Nation? I am SC Romero. This is the O, where we're talking the Oregon Ducks. And as I mentioned earlier, the winter storms make all the leaves fall, right? You talk about what you lost heading into that spring year. That's what we did last time. We talked about what we lost, the players going to the draft or in the transfer portal. This time, we're going to go over some of the players that we gained, the spring showers that made the grass forever green, if you will. And let's start off with the quarterbacks because that was a big part losing Bo Nix. But guess what? We're getting another baller in Dylan Gabriel. Transfer out of Oklahoma. He really started to grow and build up on some of his mobility that he had from his time at UCF. Past 2 seasons, over 300 yards on the ground. Only one season so far below 3,100 yards. This kid, he's going to Flores. And I really like what we're about to see, possibly a 4,000 yard season, because I think he just has that pure accuracy. He's not as mobile as what Bo Nix was, but he is going to gain that mobility. And I just think Oregon is going to unlock him. Dan Lanning, when some quarterbacks come to Oregon, they seem to just click with this up tempo mindset, right? They become these leaders that just like to push the ball down the fields, and I expect Dylan Gabriel to do that as well. But speaking of quarterbacks, another one is freshman Dante Moore. Right now, there's an old saying, right? If you love something, you gotta let it go. And if it comes back, it's meant to be. Well, guess what? Dante Moore come back. And I'm no Usher, but these are my confessions. Dante Moore should have never left. He committed to Oregon and then he left when Bo Nix said he was gonna come back and went to UCLA. And I get it, he wanted to start right away. But man, there's a realm where if you stayed at Oregon and sat behind Bo Nix, this is your team this year. But guess what? It's not. It's Dylan Gabriel. It's Dante Moore. I hope you sit back, you relax though, because I do like what you have. You're a leader. You have the confidence. You got a little shooken last year, so hopefully those freshman woes are gone and behind you. But let's take a step back. Learn this offense under Dan Lanning. See what Dan Lanning is putting in front of you. Who knows? Maybe you even have Evan Stewart next year, possibly after Dylan Gabriel goes. But Dante Moore coming back from UCLA, that's exciting. Another one now. Now the running back. We talked about Bucky Irvin last time, and it's Jordan James' season. It's going to be his season, but we know Oregon is known for running two backs, right? Or multiple backs, not just two. Well, running back Jay Harris out of Northwest Missouri State, a Division II school, is someone to keep an eye on. He's a D2 All-American. He's 6'2", 220. Guy's built like a tank, and he runs like a juggernaut. Just starts to gain momentum, right? He has the footwork and agility to get between the tackles, and he has great contact balance where if someone hits him, he just bounces off and goes. Jay Harris, I do think it's Jordan James' season, but I'm excited to see what James Harris could bring. Not James. Jay Harris. The biggest thing is his durability. He does have some injury concerns, so I don't think he's going to be the lead back by any means or anything like that, but he's going to be someone that could come in and give James a little bit of breather so that way he can step in and still gain that momentum and gain some yards. Now, probably the biggest acquisition of the offseason through the transfer portal is going to be my guy, Evan Stewart, A&M transfer. To some people, he is already wide receiver one in this upcoming class. Not talking 2024, I'm talking 2025. He is that elusive. But yeah, he really still hasn't had a true breakout season quite yet. Okay, he had 91 receptions on 165 targets in 2 seasons with the Aggies. Okay, he has the speed. Okay, he has the route running. He has the hands. I want to see a little bit more physicality from him. Think of Troy Franklin, but just a tad higher there, just that notch higher over Troy Franklin. But he's still gonna be that mobile. He's gonna be the wide receiver one. Big news when he came in. It was like, yes, we finally got the guy. Shout out Ches Johnson. He's still with us there as well. Jerry Dickey, freshman last year that we could possibly see get involved as well. But it's going to be Evan Stewart's time to shine. And we know Oregon produces some wide receivers too. This is going to be something where we're going to see the breakout season finally happen for Evan Stewart. And I'm excited to see what him and Gabriel can do. Two guys from the Pac-12 now moving on to the Big Ten with the Oregon Ducks. This is going to be an exciting thing. Think of Devontae Smith, if you will. And you remember what Devontae Smith did before he went to NFL? He won the Heisman. Not saying Evan Stewart's winning the Heisman, but I expect a great season from him nonetheless. Now, with every offense, if you watch football, you know the offense runs through the offensive line. Okay. Now, with that, you need someone to be an anchor. We had that in JPJ, Jackson Powers Johnson, last season. Now going out to NFL, think he's going to be a Philadelphia Eagle. He's a great center. What they're getting now is Matthew Bedford from Indiana. This kid has the juice to enhance the running game. He has the speed to go and push guys down to get the blockers up the field for the running backs. He can play inside the line, and he's someone that he's going to be a nice pull for when you see Jordan James Reed and Jay Harris come and make the runs that they need to do and open the holes for them. This is something I'm really excited for because we need kind of a leader to step up, and Bedford could be that, the guy from Indiana. He's probably going to be playing your guard position. Who knows? They might try to move him into center. I don't know. But again, this is just going to be a solid anchor and a solid foundation for the offensive line that took a huge blow in losing Jackson Power Johnson. Okay. Now, those are the offensive guys. The offense is looking stellar. Again, we talked about Bo Nix. We talked about Bucky Irvin. We talked about even Troy Franklin leaving. Three big weapons that the Oregon offense used. But we're getting Dillon Gabriel. We're getting Dante Moore. He's going to rest behind Gabriel. We're getting Jay Harris. We're getting Evan Stewart. This offense is still going to bring some electricity like the Oregon Ducks always do. So stay tuned for them as well. Now, as you know, I love the IDP. And defense wins championships. And we talked about some of the defensive guys we lost from this last season as well. Now let's talk about the defensive guys that we gained in this transfer portal. One, Jamari Caldwell from Houston. Got to represent, right? Houston. Shout out the Cougars out there. But Caldwell's coming up to Oregon. And I'm excited to see this guy here. Brandon Dorless, who was our best defensive line last season, 5 sacks. 5 sacks. You know how many this guy Caldwell had last season? 7 sacks. You see that 7 sacks there, right? 12 tackles for loss. This guy just gets around, bullies his guys at the line, moves around them, and he has that strength to push them back, but also gain that pressure and get to that quarterback. Something that we're going to need a lot during this season is just adding some more needed pressure to give our secondary, which we're going to get into this dangerous secondary that we just acquired, to get to our secondary and allow them to make the play on the ball. I think Caldwell's a great condition. He's probably going to be the leader in sacks for the Oregon Ducks. He's going to be someone that is going to be immediately on the field and just make that impact from week one. Talking about the secondary, the Oregon Ducks went out there and got some dogs. They got some ball hawks. They got some hard-hitting, gritty guys just to build up on the secondary. And I have 4 guys here just that they got from the transfer portal there. First being Cam Alexander from UTSA, lockdown defensive back. He allowed 48.1% completion when thrown his way. Less than 50% of the time these balls were getting to him. He came down and just locked it up for people. He does play a little bit faster, right? He does have a pretty big missed tackle rate, about 16% there, but he's still going to be something that gets his hands all over the ball to cause incompletions. He had 15 pass deflections last season with 2 interceptions. That's Cam Alexander from UTSA. Another cornerback that came in is Brandon Johnson from Duke. Just every team needs that versatile defensive back, right? The one that could go there and bring the blitz, or the one that can stay in coverage. This is where Johnson comes in. He can line up really anywhere you want. He can play that hybrid role, if you will. 2 sacks last season and 19 run stops. Someone that gets in your face. Now the cover is there, man to man, not so much. He allowed 74.5% completion, so you don't necessarily see that. But again, that hybrid role where if they need those blitz packages, watch him come in and just get in front of that quarterback, or even just stop that run right there and just get hard hitting. As I mentioned, we got some gritty guys. Brandon Johnson out of Duke fits that grittiness when he goes after the quarterback or the running back behind the line. This one's funny to me, actually, because it's a guy that played Oregon a few times last season, and maybe he's just like, man, Oregon needs someone like me on their team, and that's going to be Jabbar Muhammad from Washington, another defensive back here. He was holding down Franklin when he got him. He's going to be everything you want as far as the coverage skills. Just over 51% completion when targeted, 3 interceptions, 12 pass deflections, 20 run stops though. So I was just talking about the other guy there, and Brandon Johnson from Duke, who had a total of 19 run stops. Then we bring in Jabbar Muhammad, who had 20, plus Jabbar Muhammad's a little bit better in that coverage game as well. So expect him to be all over it. And Dan Lanning likes to mix it up when it comes to the defensive scheme. So watch out for Muhammad Johnson. Again, these defensive backs here just to be aggressive and to stop this run. And going to the Big Ten, a conference that is known for having some good running backs, Lanning really went out and got some guys to make it effective and to, stop it at the front. No one's going to gain some yardage over them in a sense. You blitz all night, and if they get another yard, you're getting out the game. But speaking of that is another hard-hitting, gritty guy, Kobe Savage, Kansas State, the safety. Look, 2-time all Big 12 selection, Big 12 Defensive Newcomer of the Year in 2022, 115 total tackles, 6 interceptions in 2 seasons with Kansas State. This kid brings that grit. He's going to be the guy that's in your face, and he's going to be the guy that's knocking guys out at the back in the secondary. No one's going to be able to pass him. He's going to be someone that, you're always going to wonder when the wide receiver is going, they're going to be looking out. Wait, is Kobe over here? I don't know, because he has that speed that he can get sideline to sideline if he needs to be, where you're like, oh, I'm safe. He's not there. And then, wow, there he goes. That's Kobe Savage from Kansas State. Now, those are my 5 defensive guys there. As I mentioned here, we have Jamari Cadwell, shout out from Houston, defensive line, just going to be a huge anchor there. We have Cam Alexander, again, from UTSA, a nice cornerback that's going to be their lockdown guy this season. Brandon Johnson, Duke, versatility. He's probably going to be playing more nickel, just someone that's closer to the line to make that pressure or that blitz there. Jabbar Muhammad, again, you have him opposite of Cam Alexander. Whew, good luck passing on them. And then we have Kobe Savage, again, in the back to hold it down if for whatever reason the wide receivers get past Muhammad or even Johnson or any of that, then you have Kobe Savage coming back to say, hey, we're going to clean it up. We're going to close it out. That's all we got for you here today. The Oregon Ducks, yeah, we lost some things. But again, the grass is always green in UG. We also gained some things. They are ready. They are ready to attack. I'm excited to see what comes for this upcoming season. But that's not all we gained from the transfer portal. Tune in next time where we're going to talk about some of the freshmen we gained, offensive, defense. CFB Nation, I am SC Romero. This is the O.
All right, everybody got goals and aspirations. You know how you get those? You be the best where you're at.
What does Evan Stewart bring to the table here? In short, you get a baller.
The grass is not always green. In fact, the grass is damn green in Eugene.